Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dale Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Berry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafelt, and I'm now joined by 2015 NFL Draft prospect, wide receiver out of Southern Oregon University, Dylan Young. I appreciate you taking some time to chat today, Dylan. How's it going?
It's going good, and it's not a problem. Don't mind giving up my time to give you an interview.
Absolutely. I got to say, it's definitely a pleasure to get you on. You've had an interesting journey to get to where you're at today. For those who don't know, you started your college football career at the JUCO level at Feather River College. Try saying that 5 times fast. And then you decided to transfer to Southern Oregon, where you spent the last 2 years playing wide receiver at a very high level for the Raiders. Is it crazy to think that you're now getting ready for the NFL draft?
It is crazy. It's really a dream come true, and I'm honored and blessed to be able to have the opportunity to be even mentioned in being a prospect in the 2015 NFL draft.
So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your college career. So after spending 2 years at Feather River College, you decided to attend Southern Oregon University and play for the Raiders. I'll just start off by asking you a pretty simple question, and that is, why Southern Oregon? How'd they win you over?
So coming out of my junior college, I had some offers from D1 schools, some Division I AA's, D2s, and then my coaches came up here to Southern Oregon for a coaches clinic, and my JC coaches told me to come up and visit, and I'm from Salem, Oregon, so I'm not too far from here. I came up here and met Coach Craig Howard. He's our head coach, and he pretty much won me over. I came here talking to him. He just showed me that this is a place I could be loved at, and I could be a big impact in what we do here. And obviously, winning a national championship, I had a little bit of part in that. Then our quarterback and offensive line, all the pieces fit when I came here on my visit. And then just meeting with all the other coaches, they all cared about you here at Southern. It's more of a family atmosphere. The coaches coach you like they're your son, and that was something I wanted. And I also wanted to be close to my hometown so I could represent for Salem, Oregon, so I could have all my friends, family from Salem or around the Oregon area in general be able to come and make it to games. And so, and obviously, Austin Dodge was a big part in me coming here. One of the best quarterbacks at the NAIA level in college football, period. And then him being the NFL draft prospect, too, that was a big thing. And then us throwing the ball 40 to 60 times a game was another huge thing as a receiver. You have so many opportunities to catch balls and do something on the field. So
You were able to make an impact right away. I mean, your first year there at Southern Oregon, you hauled in 69 receptions for over 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. Can you just talk about what it was like to make that transition with a new team, how your teammates welcomed you in, and, of course, how you were able to have the success that you ended up having?
Yeah, that first year I got here, I was actually the only new person on our starting offense. So the first couple workouts in the summer, I got here early for summer, came in fall camp, and I was the only one struggling, the only one messing up. So it was pretty hard for me at that point because learning the offense and just being the only new guy to be messing up and getting yelled at all the time was pretty difficult. But I have a great group of teammates here. They're like my brothers, and they helped me through the fall camp and gave me extra study time with them. Anything I pretty much needed, it was there for me. I had access to any type of help I needed, and so that was a huge reason of my success then. And then again, back to our offensive line. They do a great job protecting for Dodge, and then obviously Dodge, being the quarterback he is, making all the throws, that helps too. And then I have a great wide receiver core here, probably the best wide receiver core in college football, I would say, because no one on our wide receiver core is selfish. We all play for one another. We block for one another. One game, one guy might get one catch and then the next game, that guy might get 10 catches. So we all share the ball, and we all love each other in that wide receiver core as brothers, and those guys are all my best friends, and so they made a huge impact on my 2 seasons here.
What would you say is the biggest difference between playing ball at the JUCO level and playing ball at the NAIA level?
Well, they're both pretty different. Just at the JUCO level, you get a group of guys. You can play 1 week where you're playing against 5 to 10 Division I guys on the opposite team or on your team, and then you can also play a junior college team where it's like some of those guys it's not very competitive. And then here at the NAIA level, we have a couple guys you play against that are Division I guys that wanted to, for some reason, came to the NAIA level. But for the university standpoint of it, it's more consistent football. And obviously playing in the NAIA National Championship game, we had a lot of opportunities to play against a lot of good players, and you at the junior college level, it's hit or miss when you play games. So here at the NAIA level is just picking up the competitiveness and just more consistent play out of each team we played.
Well, like you said, Dylan, you're the only new guy to be a part of that starting offense last year. You're able to explode onto the scene. As a team, the Raiders finished 7-4. What were both your individual and team expectations for this past season, knowing that it'll be your final go-around at the college level?
Well, when I first got here, the only expectation was a national championship, and Coach Howard came here 5 years ago now. Came here 4 seasons ago, and he said that we were going to win the national championship. So even before I was here, he already planted those seeds in, and they were just growing year by year. And obviously the 2011-2012 group of guys had a huge impact on our success these last 2 seasons. Also Cole McKenzie, Pat Donahue, those are 2 receivers of the 2012 group that were All-Americans that set all these records for SOU, and they were a huge part in why I got here. So without that group of guys, what we did in these last 2 seasons wouldn't have been possible. Obviously, in the 2013 season, it was supposed to be playoffs, and I think what it was a lot of guys got complacent, and we were just sitting there thinking it was going to be handed to us, and we started off really slow. We lost it, I believe it was our first 4 games. We lost, and then we went on a roll after that, but it was just, we started too slow, and then coming in, pretty much a week after 2013 season, we made a commitment to each other as a team, players, the coaches the players, as we're all going to work as hard as we can, no matter what, to get to a national championship and win it. And as seen now, we ended up winning the national championship this year, and that's always been the standard. Even though us seniors are leaving, that's still the standard for these guys next year. It was just crazy. It was just a crazy ride in this last season, because each game we started off the season slow again, not by wins or losses, because obviously we won most of our, I think we went 6-0 and then lost, I believe, and it was just points. We weren't scoring as many points as we wanted. We weren't clicking like we wanted to, and then we finally started just clicking, and we did a lot of great things.
Chris Shanafelt talking with 2015 NFL Draft prospect, wide receiver out of Southern Oregon University, Dylan Young. And Dylan, I seriously don't know if it's possible to have a better season than the one you just finished. You recorded 90 receptions, for over 1,700 yards and 22 touchdowns. As a team, you guys finished the regular season 9-2, entered the playoffs as the 8th seed, and was able to defeat Mid-American Nazarene University, number 1 ranked Carroll College, and St. Xavier to take on Marian University in the NAIA championship game, where you guys got the 55-31 victory. Can you tell us what it was like to not only play in the national championship game, but to dominate in it, and what it means to you personally to be a part of Southern Oregon's first national championship winning team?
Yeah, so personally, for me, it's a great feeling. If you ever get a chance to come to Ashland, Oregon, it's a small, low community, so you're either known for good or bad. Being on the football team, everyone knows that you're a football player here. A lot of people have been trying to get out there and trying to see us win and be successful and stuff. And so bringing a national championship here, the first one ever in SCU history, was huge. I mean, we gained so much respect from people around the community. But even before we won the national championship, a big part of it was the community and how well they welcome all the new players. They let football players be football players, and they were always supportive, donating money, coming out to our games, all this stuff. And Stan Smith we call him Mr. Raider. He was on the only undefeated football team in SOU history, and he's still around. I want to say he's close to 97 years old.
Wow.
And so we were inspired by him and how passionate he was to the game and to SOU, and we all wanted to make sure he was sent off in the right way, and he knew that we were going to give everything we had, and we just wanted to make him proud. And bringing a national championship to him and seeing his face when we brought the trophy back was priceless, and it was so meaningful. But then just playing in the national championship, that week in Daytona was pretty crazy because we stayed on Daytona Beach. We were right there by the Atlantic Ocean, and tons of distractions. But our coaches made sure that we were focused and we were able to have fun, enjoy the time we were there. But when it was football time or media time, it was those times, and we're not goofing around and getting in trouble. And our guys all understood that, and we all embraced it pretty well. We got police escorts around places, and being at the NAIA level, you don't get that every game like you would at Division I. And so that was the crazy part about that. And then just being in the game and seeing ESPN there, again, NAIA level, we don't get ESPN games. We don't get all the fame and glory, but there's a bunch of players at the small school level that can compete with any Division I player. And I truly believe the difference is just the media and all that stuff. And there's obviously a little bit difference in the consistency of competitiveness that you get at Division I. But being in that game was just so crazy. And then coming out, we wanted to make sure that we were in the national championship, and we wanted to make sure we left our mark and made it a standard. And we felt like throughout the season we didn't get the respect we deserved, beating Carroll when they were ranked number one, and then in the rankings they stayed ahead of us. So we just made it our mission to make sure that everyone knows who Southern Oregon was, and that game was crazy. We came out and everything was clicking for us, and don't believe that we were going to win that game. We ended up winning it.
And after winning the game, I know it's been a little over a month, I believe. With all the success that you guys had this past season, do you feel that Southern Oregon is beginning to get a little bit more recognition? Of course, you guys are in Oregon, and of course, you guys got the Oregon Ducks, who were also in the national championship game. Of course, they lost to Ohio State. Do you feel that after winning the NAIA national championship game, that you guys are beginning to receive a little bit more recognition?
Yeah, I do. I mean, and if we don't, I mean, the guys that are here, they're going to make sure they keep playing their tails off, and they're going to make sure that everyone knows who Southern Oregon is each and every year. No matter if it's one year people don't want to underestimate us, and then the next year they do. We're going to be Southern Oregon. We're going to be the Raiders. We're going to do exactly what we do. We just go out and play football. And I think now, like you were saying, a lot of the teams are recognizing that we weren't a one-hit wonder. When 2012 came into the 2012 team, they came into the Frontier Conference that first year and won it. And then that second year, my first year here, 2013, we kind of had a letdown where we didn't make the playoffs. So a lot of teams were like, oh, they're just the one-hit wonder team. And so that's what we wanted to prove that we weren't. And like I said, the guys all understand. All the new guys coming up, they all understand the expectation here. And the expectation wasn't set by me or any of the guys from this last year team. It was set with that 2012 team.
Well, I want to ask you about one of your teammates. Of course, that'll be quarterback Austin Dodge. Like yourself, he's a very interesting prospect getting ready for a shot in the NFL. Why do you think he was able to have the success that he had at Southern Oregon, and do you think it could translate to the NFL?
Well, Dodge is a character, that's for sure. So he has a competitive edge about him that he just wants to be great. He wants to prove everyone wrong. From me knowing him the last 2.5 years, he's kind of been one of my best friends out here. So I believe he'll translate pretty well. His success obviously comes from a lot of different things. Our offensive line, the wide receivers, Coach Foz, our offensive coordinator, calling the plays, and then obviously Dodge's talent as a quarterback overall is far greater than a lot of quarterbacks I've ever seen in person. He can, like, out of the other interviews I've had that have talked about Dodge, and I refer to him as Matt Stafford. If I was comparing him to NFL quarterback, he can move enough to extend plays, and he showed that this year. He helped us a lot with his mobility. He's always working hard. He's always one of the first guys in meetings, last ones out of the meetings. His playbooks are way more bigger and more in detail than anybody else's. He studies the game. I wish him the best. I hope that he has the best success, and I know he can get it done. He has all the tools. I mean, he can throw the ball 80 yards down the field, put the ball wherever he wants, and even if he throws the ball late, he has arm strength and the speed on the ball to get it there and make up for him throwing it late. So he has so much talent, so much upside, and I think that the scouts have only seen a glimpse of what he can do. So
2015 NFL Draft Prospect wide receiver out of Southern Oregon, Dylan Young, joining the CS podcast. And Dylan, over the last 4 years, whether it was at the JUCO level or at the NAIA level, who would you say is the best or most impressive player you've had to play against?
The best player I had to play against, I would give a shout out to Andre McCollum. He plays at Rocky Mountain. He's actually a wide receiver, so I never had to go against him, but he's one of the most explosive receivers I've ever seen. Watching him, watching what he does, watching what he did against us, he's just an explosive athlete. He makes a bunch of big-time plays. So he'd be one of the guys. And then when I was at my junior college level, played against a guy named Solomon. He played corner at Butte Community College. He played corner at Arizona State. He just finished up his senior year. And he was definitely one of the best players I ever played against. He had the speed, the size, cover ability. He had it all. So he would be probably the best defensive player I've ever played against.
All right, now if you had to single out one, what's the biggest or most memorable play that you've made throughout your college football career?
Biggest play I've made. I would probably just go back to my 91-yard touchdown that Dodge and me connected on. It was against Rocky Mountain College this last season, and I want to say it was 3rd and 20. We're on our 9-yard line. Coach Foz looks at me. He's like, "We're just going to go deep." And so Dodge threw up a ball, threw it perfectly where I could run underneath and get it. And I was pretty well covered. And I just hit another gear. It separated from the guy, caught it. And you just hear the whole crowd go crazy after I scored. And that probably be the most memorable just because the significance. I want to say the game was pretty close at this point, and we would have had to punt the ball, giving them a chance to catch up, and we ended up connecting on that 91-yard school record touchdown for Dodge and me both. So that'd probably be the biggest play, or best play anyways, that I would enjoy the rest of my life.
All right. Once again, Chris Shanafelt talking with 2015 NFL Draft Prospect, wide receiver out of Southern Oregon, Dylan Young, here on the CS Podcast. And Dylan, just a few more questions before I let you go. I really do appreciate your time. What do you feel is your biggest strength as a wide receiver?
My biggest strength as a wide receiver, I'd probably say my ability to track the football. I feel that I can adjust to any ball thrown. I have a wide range of being able to catch up to balls, come back to balls, dive for balls. That'd probably be my biggest upside, I would say, is just being able to get to the football some way, somehow. I always find a way to get to the football.
And how about a weakness? Is there anything specific you'll be trying to improve on during the off season?
Well, I mean, there's always things you can improve on. I mean, my whole game I want to improve on. I don't think I'm anywhere near where it can be. personally, I probably want to. My main focus is press coverage. So we at SOU we didn't get a lot of teams that wanted to press us, and I know at the next level you got athletes that are just as fast as you or faster and bigger and stronger, and NFL defenses want to get up in your face and go one-on-one coverage, and so that's going to be my biggest focus, is to just get a little bit more lateral quickness, a little bit more strength, and just be able to get through hands on press coverage.
All right, so I see your school as you listed at 6'3", 197 pounds. Does that sound about right?
I'm 6'3" in cleats, so I'd say I'm about 6'1" and 5'8", 6'2". And right now I'm about 198, getting up to 205, hopefully, by the time I go to the Baltimore NFL Combine.
All right, sounds good. Any chance you happen to know your latest 40 time?
Latest 40 time, I would say probably 4.48.
All right, sounds good. Is there a wide receiver currently playing in the NFL that you might compare your game to?
I would compare my game to someone, probably Jordy Nelson. Obviously, he doesn't, and he's so fluent and smooth in his route running. He's not one of those guys that are going to do 3 or 4 different types of stems just to get into a route. He just runs fast, steps on the receiver's toes, snaps it off in one move. And that's kind of how I play. I don't need to sit there and set a bunch of routes up. I can just, if I'm running a post route, I can just step on your toes, give you a little bit of a wiggle past the route just to get by you and get open. And he does that exceptionally well. He's one of those guys that goes up for the football. He doesn't wait for it to get to him, and he just makes a bunch of big plays. And so that's probably my number one idol right now is Jordy Nelson, and who I look up to. But I have a tons of favorite receivers. Larry Fitzgerald. I love watching Des Bryant. All those guys that can just catch the football when you don't think it should be caught.
All right. Jordy Nelson, definitely one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. Of course, he probably has the best quarterback in the NFL throwing him the ball like you did with Austin Dodge. So that's something to look at right there as well. Now, let's say there's an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should he want wide receiver Dylan Young out of Southern Oregon University a part of his team?
I would just have to say that I'm going to give everything I have when I get out there for whatever team it is I have an opportunity to play for. And I'm never going to stop working. I'm going to make sure I give everything I have to that organization, to that team. And I just want to be able to come out and help the team win in any way possible. Not a selfish guy at all. And I'm going to give everything I have to that organization.
Well, of course, the draft is just a few months away. It's actually going to be here in Chicago. What's next for you? I mean, are you training anywhere? You mentioned you have the Baltimore Regional Combine. Can you just tell us where you're at as of right now?
Yeah, as of right now, I just signed with KMG Sports Agency out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I signed with Mike McCarthy, who's my agent. Signed with him a couple weeks ago. Great guy. Throughout this whole process, he's been one of the agents to freely let me speak to other agents, not be upset about speaking to other agents. He actually encouraged it a lot. He's been helping me a lot, trying to find ways to get my draft stock up, being a small school guy. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that, the agent process. I'm also training out of Athletic Edge, out of Medford, Oregon. My trainer is Jason. He knows his stuff. He has me working every single day, about an hour and a half, personally with him one-on-one, and then I do my own lifting sessions afterwards for about an hour each day, and then I go hit the field for about 30 to 45 minutes on my own or with the receivers out here. So that's with my training stuff, and then with everything else, I'm getting ready to February 28th. I'll be at the Baltimore, Maryland NFL Regional Combine there, trying to run fast, jump high, jump far, show off my stuff and get my draft stock a little bit higher with that. And then also trying to set up a pro day sometime here coming up. If not here at SOU, we're trying to see if we can talk to Oregon or PSU to let me be able to squeeze in with those guys when they have their pro day.
Well, it definitely sounds like you have a busy schedule, a busy handful of months ahead of you, Dylan. I really do appreciate your time, though, man. It was definitely great speaking with you. Congratulations on a very successful college football career. I'm certainly wishing you nothing but the best throughout this process. You have anything else for us before I let you go?
No, I just want to give a shout out to my mom. You know, she's the one that's made it all possible, my teammates and everything here at SOU and at my junior college level, all my coaches, and just gotta stay hungry and stay blessed, stay humble. So I appreciate the interview and I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Once again, thank you very much, Dylan. Hopefully we can keep in touch. And once again, best of luck and take care, all right?
All right, thank you.